Hi guys, and welcome to the third video in our series on the 6 most important things for show producers and managers to implement. This section is on content, photos and videos. Now let's get stuck right into it. The important point on this section is understanding what type of content, so this is visual, so video and photos obviously, which is what's in the section title. It's understanding what the best thing to show your persona is, or your personas are. So if they're going to attend your wedding show or wedding expo to buy wedding dresses, then you need to show that to them in your ads. You need to show that to them on your social profiles. If you have a man's man persona, you want to give him the images that he wants to see, whether that's a pickup covered in mud for your auto show, or if it's a twin engine outboard motor cresting above the waves for your boat show. You want to show them what they want to see. Okay, show them themselves, show them their aspirations, show them the things that they want to achieve. So that's the first thing that you need to be thinking about. What do I need to show my personas? What do they want to see, and how do I show that to them? And the first question you kind of need to ask yourself after that is, what content do you have right now? Do you have a hard drive already that has all of your photos or photos taken from past and previous shows? Do you have photos from your vendors that maybe you can use? How about your sponsors? Do your sponsors have videos or images that you could maybe use? And it doesn't necessarily have to just be photos and videos. You could have postcards, emails, testimonials, messages, letters, anything and everything. It's good to take a stock of all that you have and then figure out what's useful and what isn't. The next thing to ask is, what content can you get? So that's reaching out to past attendees, maybe even doing a hashtag search on Instagram or online and seeing what kind of user-generated content is out there. This is actually a great way of getting the photos that perhaps you couldn't take yourself, or your photography team or your photographer, videographer couldn't get at the show itself. User-generated content, that's the stuff that, I might take a photo of a car and post it on Instagram using Florida Auto Show 2019, hashtag Ferrari, hashtag goals, hashtag dreams, something like that. And along these lines of what content can you get, the other option is to think about the stock imagery and stock video that you could potentially use in your marketing. And there's numerous websites where you can get these images and video. And you can download these legally, and you can download them with the right permissions that you can use them in marketing. And we actually, and you can see here, we provide a quick little table for some example websites. So photo websites, there's unsplash.com, pixabay.com, pixels.com. I think a lot of them overlap with the same type of imagery. Unsplash does have a lot of specifically themed images that don't necessarily look like stock photos. And then another option is paid stock photo websites, and Shutterstock is one of the biggest out there, if not the biggest. And then the same thing goes with stock video websites. So Shutterstock, again, that has a paid video section. It can be quite expensive, so depending on the level of budget and resources that you have behind your show. Perhaps you already have an account with Shutterstock and you can get videos cheaper, but it can be quite cost prohibitive. Other free options are pixels.com again, videvo.net, and then also videoblocks.com. So now that you've done that first section on what you have and what you can get, the next step is what you can do with this content and putting it to good use. So there's obviously many places to implement this content. You've got social media, you've got your web pages, you've got blogs, YouTube, Vimeo, Tumblr. And it's important to implement these correctly. The number one thing that you don't want to do is get great content but use it wrong. So what that means is you might have the best photo, but you saved the thumbnail, or you took a big photo, it might be 2000 pixels, and you try to stuff it into a 200 pixel image and it doesn't really work, or you don't know that it doesn't work and it looks funny. And you would have come across this before, where you've seen an image on a website or a post on Facebook where something looks stretched, right? You might have writing that's compressed one way or stretched another way, and it just doesn't look very professional. And you want to always be putting your best foot forward with what you're putting out online. We've included a link here to a website from a company called Sprout Social. So they're a social media marketing software company, I guess. And it's called the Always Up-to-Date Social Media Image Sizes Cheat Sheet. That is a mouthful. Now, this blog post will provide you, as it kind of says in the title, an up-to-date guide of the sizes of images that you should be using. So take a look at that. You can see the size of a specific image or specific placement online, and you can make sure that what you're implementing out there is what the best practice is at the time. Then we dive in here a little bit of photo editing tools, so we can go over this quickly. Canva.com, it's a free online tool. It has upgradable options, but allows you to kind of put together some really cool looking things. Photoshop is more professional, more if you've got an internal graphic design team, or maybe you're a bit of a designer yourself. This can be really, really good. PicMonkey, another free online tool for more day-to-day smaller tasks. I would suggest, if you're doing anything with a big budget behind it, or if you're spending significant amounts of money to you probably want to make sure that you're doing things in high quality. So Adobe Photoshop's probably the best thing to be using. If you don't know how to use Photoshop yourself, I'd advise just getting a graphic designer. Find someone that you know, someone in your community, or even go online and find someone that's going to create professional images, because Photoshop does have a very steep learning curve. I don't know Photoshop myself, seen people using it. I don't want to learn how to use it, so I'll find someone else myself. Now, if we jump into Florida Food Festival and what type of content they're using. So, a bit of a recap, they have 3 personas that they identified in the step 1 that they did. Sophisticated older couple, professional younger couple, and then ladies wine group. And what we're going to be talking about a little bit more in this video series is how they target the ladies wine group. And in the previous video, if you've seen that, you'll know that we're targeting them with Facebook ads. So the marketing team, they realized that their Facebook photo was actually the wrong size and cut off the text at the bottom. So it might not seem like a big deal. However, it does look unprofessional. And so they wanted to make sure they changed that. So using the guide from Sprout Social, I'll just flick over to this next page. You can see here on the right, it was a bit cut off before. So using the guide, they knew which size to use, then uploaded the correct image size for Facebook profile photos. And the team also did a bit of digging around. They found that they could use, they actually had a lot of photos from previous shows. So they used Canva, the free online editing software, and they were able to add text overlays and images on top of this image to create the advertising. So using Canva, they were able to add details such as show times, dates, location, and price quickly and easily as well. And then they were able to post these images across their website, email newsletters, and social accounts. Again, making sure to use the correct image sizes per social account. So for example, on LinkedIn, I wouldn't necessarily say Florida Food Festival should be using LinkedIn, but LinkedIn likes, right now, they like landscape images, 1920 by 1080. Whereas Facebook, we're seeing actually some really good results with square images and square video. So that's an example of, do you just have one bit of content and sacrifice somewhere? Or do you just take that image, make it square, and then you're able to really see some great results on that channel? So it's important to understand that. Now with Facebook, what's really good with Facebook is it has an integration directly with Shutterstock. So you don't actually need to pay for Shutterstock photos. If you're running Facebook ads, you can use Shutterstock images in those ads. Unfortunately, right now you're unable to add any overlays to your Shutterstock images that you're pulling through Facebook's integration, and you're going to have to put the details of your show into the description or text section of the ad. And finally, to touch on is video. Now, traditionally, video has been quite expensive to produce, right? You need quite large cameras, so you big cameras on the shoulder. You need production teams, audio, editing, lighting, and it's almost like you had to have a Hollywood budget. Things are so much different now. So with smartphones these days, you can have 4K images through the latest iPhone or the latest Samsung. You're able to capture that while you're walking around the show and then distribute it straight away, right? You don't need to take this big film back to a truck, chop it up, edit it, put it together, or anything like that. You might be still thinking that your attendees expect to see some slick TV commercial with a big Hollywood budget and celebrities in it. But what they actually really want to see is they want you touring the behind the scenes, right? Everyone likes to see what's behind the camera. So what you could do is a tour of your venue, a tour of your vendors before the show. Instagram, Facebook, or even now just recently launched YouTube stories with some commentary on the parking, how to get in, how to join the Wi-Fi, perhaps other facilities. Where are the bathrooms? Where are the restrooms? Do you have to walk in and go right, walk in and go left? Are they in the back corner? Are they right in the middle? It's really easy just to start pumping out video content and then distributing that into the right channels. So you're giving more information. That's the best thing about video. The best thing about the internet really is you're providing information. You're providing visual information, audio information. You're providing context. And it's just really going to help you out in you and your shows. And a new feature that Facebook and Instagram have, well, it's not really new. It's people still don't use it. I still haven't really used it myself. And this feature is live video. And right now, live video on Facebook and Instagram is getting prioritized quite a lot by the algorithms. So if you do a live video of you walking around your venue the day before, Facebook's going to bump that up because Facebook knows that people love reality, the realness of a live video. The fact that you could be shooting a live video right now, and then if someone walks in, that's actually happening. It's not security waiting at the door, or it's not perfectly scripted. It's just we're talking. You're holding a camera and you're saying, "Hey, look, here's the venue. We're walking in. Here's what you're going to see tomorrow when you come in. Here are the ticket. Where you scan your ticket. There are the bathrooms. Oh, there's the popcorn and Coke machine over there. So when you walk in, you get your snacks straight away. That kind of thing." So a challenge that I'd like to make to you is in the lead up to your next show, try using live video on Facebook. Share a live video of you planning or setting it up or the activities on the day. Maybe you tour it a week or so before. Do a live video, see what response that gets you, see how that connection can happen between you and your attendees, and take them behind the scenes and make them feel more for your show, make them feel more invested because they've seen not just on the day, but the lead up, the build up. Think about this. It's not just the destination that people are thinking about. It's the journey getting there. They're going to love to see, hey, that was last year. I missed out on last year. Or I really enjoyed last year. That was great. Then you can show them, hey, we took the feedback from last year and we adapted it. We made this year's event even better than last year's. Here's what we did. Here's the photos of our planning. Here's the video of our planning meeting. Here's the tour. Here's the setup. And you can bring them along and nurture them. And then when it's time to buy a ticket for this year's show, you're not even going to have to ask them. They're going to be asking you, how do I buy a ticket? You've shown me this journey. I want to get to that destination. I want to be there for Florida's greatest food festival, the Florida Food Festival 2019. So that wraps up step 3 in our 6-step guide. That was content, photos, and video. Next up in our series is messaging. What to say and how to say it. So make sure you check out the next video below, and I'll see you there.